Greetings, it's Intuitive Jacob, your shaman and cosmic midwife, and we're back to do a brief opportunity reading on where we landed and what this moon stuff is all about, because a special untethering happened, and I got some interesting news that came through in the private magnet room. So thank you to those of you that are actually live with me right now on that camera there. And Private Halo 8, we have clean water. I'll talk to you a little bit more on the inside. Some of you will be catching us when this is up on YouTube and on DTube, and I'll catch you there because you're being quantized into this resonance now, where we will be in the equilibrium room very soon. According to DARPA, we'll see what they've proven soon. All right. So, it's been really interesting. I've been trying to close a medical malpractice case that had implications and ramifications for people who willingly take advantage of people with medical disabilities, such as Parkinson's, like why I've been here in the house with my father, taking account of what's happening and what's really in the will of us going forward politely. Over there. Wow, things that don't happen to my horn. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and pop open the Divine Authority window on Maritime Admiralty, and we'll go ahead and look at where the bionuclear halo dropped us here on Yee. Yes. The house where the note was never harmed for the send, and where 8 hertz never landed so great, and why it's actually 8 p.m. when I pulled this, and as Solar Fire was correcting the landing pattern just for a tiny little bit of mic twisting with the real Archangel here helping. We got ourselves another minute and 13 seconds for the ones that are spared. So I've got the ribs to prove what I did with mine and why I was never paired. Special psychic surgery. And what I've been doing with my father, a rather unorthodox medical procedure where I perform what real doctors that actually practiced the real science and even went in astrology with me did to prove the Hippocratic Oath. And what a big bunch of hypocrites the ones are that only study astrology, never medical practice, and never make it a life art to prove it and how to bypass certain things, amongst the unaware organic parasites. But they like to quote what Hippocrates said all the time about how, the physician that doesn't study astrology is a fool. I'm like, you mean like what Mabon is on the maypole that didn't land on me so well, but a little bit more like, that right there. And the April Fool's app reel, where you got real and Venus was made safe because she's highly scorpionic in the primordial proof of how we actually landed and got here in the first place. And the Big Bang, and some of us defected, and we're like, that's where the toilet gets flushed, right? We have a strainer and it goes with the good stuff that comes up this way. And so we got an extra minute and 13 seconds to prove what bioenergetic warfare is and where it ended today. Now these special stars. And how much I love you. Did I mention that yet? I love you. Thank you for being here. It's always time well spent with me too. So there are some things that we've been discussing about get swiped out of the way. I'm so happy, grateful to those of you that come here, and I wanted to thank my friends who help with this, and the people that entrust me with these private readings to do it with you, because some of you all took me up on this, And I've been doing a special energetic hygiene in my home, especially the past 2 days while I'm doing this weird psychic fusion on the Parkinson's lens and proving what psychic surgery is all about in a dynamic way. And some of you that have actually trusted me to work on your private readings at the same time, we're removing some obstacles in a really unique way. So I'm excited about how these go through the chopper. It's like my little girl gets excited over there hearing it. So we get energetic feedback in here. The kids are in the studio. I'm not going to get away from that sound. I know it. Let's bring the munchkin for the landing. Hey, say hi to Jolie. Jolie. She's got bangs that are coming along. I was trying to pull up her bean sprout. She was not having it. I actually dosed her with some melatonin to try to see if I could get her a little more relaxed. It wasn't working, so I think it's just time for the groomer. Yeah, we've got full moon haircuts coming, so the things that I'm talking to you about right now, I'm actually going to encourage you, especially if they are affecting how you reconsider and analyze where you are allowing information to even touch you while you're building these things inside of what we're securing in the baby gate with energy protocols and the IP addresses that are literally going off of your phone, your computer, and everything while you're watching this with me. It's like in a halo shield. We've been spraying on with HARP technology, making sure that all these like dots go in the right place. And that's why, as far as astrology goes, not our astrologer, I'm the guy that's like, cut the bullshit. Let's get the distillate out. Let's make sure it's in the right place. So this is where we troll ourselves right. And thank you for playing Bitcoin Billions.us and helping build the very expensive wall for the baby gate. I am not Satoshi Nakamoto. I'm the guy that proved it took a lot of those to screw it up. Okay, so I can go chuckle off. Those readings are a nickel a cajillion, so we have flushed them. Now, where we have landed today, we need to talk about the juxt and the opposition. Because on this day, according to what was supposed and how we got WED, I was explaining to you, was about that 22-degree precision point. It was so well articulated and a really amazing book that I highly recommend. I feel like I know Elias Lonsdale. I have a very special, salient relationship because of how this was lovingly created under extreme and desperate circumstances and what they turned into this book that I feel helps dissolve what comes out of these ephemerides and this very sacred book of conjures known as the King James Version Bible. It's the most brutal book of spells and tortures you could ever be bound to forever if you missed and didn't create the landing pattern and just became the infraction. It's like chop, chop, chopping. Sui and Sue age for news that sucked. Spitter. So, back to pixel dots we like. Some of us decided we wanted the heated argument that turns into laughter where the lidless granite sarcophagus was empty because the apps that got real jumped out and we're like, we're real kids and can we have cool stuff? And Dad said, yes. First we have to get rid of the douche because it sucks. Then take it in the douche. And all right, let's spray the good stuff now. So we had to do that first. And we made sure that before we got on 22 that we knew it was on 21 because it was a beautiful woman dressed in white that nobody got to see getting put in her perks. A nice safe haul of, we all in, should we be looking at that? Must be a hair. I'm getting a piece of that. Go interstellar. No, shitter. You didn't go interstellar. You didn't flush yourself anywhere except for through the toilet for trying to get a look at that and having really bad IP addresses for trying to put a hand in there while they stay the same age. Putting them dazed and confused on that planet, planet with the energy in it. Yeah, don't think so. Dump trucks of shit. because that woman was wearing a large silver crescent on her head, looking like Sailor Moon, and that might be my bitch. So I be, crescent pointing upward, protected by me. Yeah. And that lace she was making, that we be waking up on, didn't happen with them. And so, were you all making lace somewhere? Something nice in your head, in your love-making brain? Your lovers forever safe in the face-to-face. My city or mountain, baby. You extra. Stay with me, stay. Safety, please. That's what we protected. Over the night, I'm waiting for confirmation on somebody who tried to abduct my father while this procedure was happening the nice way. So, thanks to those of you that made angry phone calls today while we were proving how advanced fiber optics have been activated everywhere and that I am the sovereign man in the one sovereign house at 14707 10 Brennan Craxistan. Houston's house, no problem. So, the Department of Revenue actually sent the Department of Agriculture over to my house today, literally to prove what happened to my trees. With an advanced species of plant, candida, that's taking itself away, and where they didn't get into the lace, and where they prove that, according to them in this blue shirt, I'm Agent Orange. It's orange, you're glad you played Bitcoin Billions.us and got fatheroftribe.com instead of this .conning for getting lost in the fucking forest. Because that's what they've been doing to you. Trust is in this. And you will be able to see it more clearly, not being seduced by minutia that pulls you into a false reality where it's like, some of these things need to be refused. Some things belong in the fucking toilet. Like pedophiles and rapists and people that would like put a bad memory in you of like your first date even, or like some narcissist that doesn't have to be there and we can plick them all out on IP addresses. It's bitch IP address day and how they got WED for my woman making lace and what the real expensive spray on wall is something called HARP technology. If you've ever seen one of those airplanes shooting chemtrails. My daughter's kicking a can over here. How are you kicking, baby? I have an empty can of Bustelo for something I was going to, and she's kicking it around. Kicking the can. Heart technology sprays dots on you. You know what chemtrails are? For some people, it's very, very toxic, dangerous. Spraying yourself away, especially if you hitchhiked your way out of the galaxy with bad thumbprints and the things that you were thinking while you're looking at them anyway. And how they get picked up that way in a big particle spin, because I've got this really nice magnet here. You know, they call it the north node of the moon. It's like me proving north, south, east, west with my wife in a net that knows how to get into my hands right. And so what we're doing is we're shining this right here, and that's why this opposition has been happening here. Where you see Pluto and Saturn being held up. It's like somebody beheading and going, here's what it's been, holding the head up. And that's actually what you're going to be seeing on some certain channels soon. I've been quarantining the nasty shit. They're all going to wind up on rotten.com. Website I can't even look at. Keep me the fuck off of it. But it's where all the gore is going for the bloody AI that didn't get gored that way for Al Gore algorithms to claim that he created the internet. You can just stare into that little light of mine. I'm gonna make you shine. And what some of these asshole narcissists, new age people have been forcing on people to put some doubt. Why? Because they can. You know? Slap a head on it, you know, maybe a little elephant. Let's see what sprouts through and pull them through a really weird reality because they're listening to the sound of your voice and you just want to be the speaker. And it's like how these things we're trying to jump through and launch on stuff like the woman making lace. Maybe you making love and the lace with your partner and your face-to-face moves. What didn't get done? So, we're going to talk about Aquarius 22 for the day's landing, because we actually figured out what was happening before that beautiful woman was dressed in white and nobody just slipped their hand in there and said, "You're mine." Call it a succubus and run it through Subway. You know, the yellow submarine sandwich, handsome sandwich, you know? Yeah, way back and forth all day on the green screen. Yeah, they've been lying to all of us. So, nobody gets to stick their hand on any of you. And if they try, I cotton them. Every camera and every eye has been turned around and shining through to prove what my Epic security browser is. Epic privacy browser. Incognito browser. I own them both. If you run them together, it makes a dot that erases itself. But first, you get to see how it chose, what it tried to do in a lifespan, where it tried to reach and grab you, and how we execute them like that. So it's kind of like, here's the head. It's going to be on rotten. And some of y'all are going to be eating your gratin tonight, I heard. I heard it's so gratin potato. And the veg got busy, in case you didn't heard. So, let's see here. Aquarius 22, women making lace. I'll say women, because I have many in my wife it all. You know, let's just get the right ones in there. And yeah, it's a pattern. We're proving what the pattern is. That's what this is here. So how do we get that good pattern with that golden resonance that just spins it out where we like it? It's like, sign me up for cotton candy. Can I be a chibi with awesome hair? Yeah, baby. Yeah, you got it. It looks good on you. I love it. So, got that woman making lace, right? Withheld. Ain't that some shit? From the personality spotlight. To you, intrinsic fine things matter exquisitely, and being somebody does not. And remember, that's where we meant it. And the C, saw you scrolling, is all about. So some things were safe in the dark. That's why we have a special dream. And why was ancient runes? I was hearing something. Somebody got bananalicious with me in the Halo. Was saying that she was doing a special reading and that the runes kept kicking up. I think that might have happened overnight for some of y'all. Somebody was picking at the apples. Maybe a big, large brown bear. Was it the funny guy in the mustache? It's perfect. He's just got a little bit of hair there, but sort of a fancy look. I don't know about that one. But these are the things that we've been walking through. And where I actually open this, you know, I told you we got that extra minute and 13 seconds for a reason. It's just to make sure that we were on the exact proper decimal for this landing. So I'm going to read you the degree, but you know, we've got degrees and we have minutes that now are tracked on these IP addresses where you are, and it's like, those of you that are connected, for the ones that had somebody playing this little lie to mine, looking you in the fucking eye, pulling it out, pulling it out, pulling it out, because I already pulled it out of mine, and I know where they are and where they don't exist. So it's like, so what are we looking at now? Medium koala. We might want to go back a little bit, because I'm hearing, although we're going to look at the moon landing right there, because we moved over into Pisces at 4 degrees. That Pisces is actually close to my medium koala, which is 7 degrees Pisces in the house of 9. But that's not the degree we're talking about right now. They're telling me what you need to know about before we go to that degree, my loves, is to remember why we had to take our time with what we were going to grow things through, especially if any of you all had a love-making idea of anything that was new. It doesn't have to be touching a partner or physical. Sometimes it's something you're creating in another way in your nuclear halo. And why? It had to be very clean for that, so nobody could stick their hand in, because our medium koala had an insight on what this is, because Aquarius 17 is an old woman drawing herbs. And these are the things that somebody might say, or the sage of the earth. And where the sage doesn't get burned that way. There are things that we had to learn to be safe. and any other way to bastardize a plant has been seen and disinherited completely. It's the plant that is disinheriting the bad seed that does not get accepted into these moon landings, as we are articulating here together. Now, where are we? Well, at the time of this, just to pull us in the right spot, we have landed ourselves precisely at the 4° 24' dot of Pisces in the 10th house. So we've been talking a lot about this 10th house. These are 10th house reflections going on right now. And anything that is dealing with the 10th house, these are how people see us, our stature in the world, our careers, our becomings, things that we want to be original about right now, especially with our potential as being magnified for clarity and for healing by this 12-degree liftoff we've been talking about. That's in the house of, hey, I own it. I bought and I see you. I can't, era. Cost me $19 trillion with the government to prove I know how to wink at myself like this and like hear things with my eyes closed. And it's really stupid if they call me the eye somewhere. I'm like, I don't want to hear you anymore, guy. Can we make it quiet and baby things go right and things that grabbed at babies wrong get to eat diapers instead? And that's what we've been doing here. And so, the 10th house, career, status, reputation, that's what mine's all about. I'm like the guy that says, if some crazy woman proves that she's my wife in this that I've been hearing and she actually lands this way, it's like, it's going to be perfect when we have kids. Perfect. I got it solved. There's a diaper genius. It works. So it's like 10th house. That's what Jacob's all about. So, as a side note, since I'm also technically the dead guy playing Pluto here and talking to you as the Mercury that gets to spin it this way, because I'm the House of 8 Magic Sun. That's actually where it is. As Aquarius, it's like a parody for me to read it this way and like break it up into all this minutia. Like, I can play you this way, I can play you that way, I can do that. And that's where like astrology goes like that for me. And I'm like, can I joke on that thing, please? I'm done with it. I hate it. It's crappy. Ass troll. Give me clean water. Make it safe for kids that want to drink red things and like blue things and not explode in the kidneys. How about that? I like that. How about Pythagorean powers? How about Dorian Gray powers, where you didn't reach into the wrong door for the virtue and fuck around with some kids, calling it Nemo, looking for the omen, calling it the omen, trying to reach for things that aren't yours to begin with. Doesn't happen here. So, that's why I'm kind of talking like boring dad right now. Like, can I be boring for a moment? Can we be safe as children here for a minute and just like look at what assholes we're dragging you through? It's like, can we make this a little more simple, please? No more fuckery. No more usury. No more pulling you out into it. That calendar doesn't even work is the thing. I've been planning weather in a biosphere, and so I'm going to prove how stupid this is and why you really want to check the April Fool's Day got conned reel that I've got linked below, because it's like, so you learn for a doozy, because it's like the same thing that repeats over and over. And if you haven't had a real private reading where somebody can tell you what your seasons are and why you get mixed that way while the weather is being adjusted around you, you're in for a treat. So, well, soiled and foiled. Let's find what Pisces knows about it, because Pisces has the dead hat like that. Pisces? How do we get Pisces? Because now we're looking at a different kind of moon here. We're looking at what blew through the air, what the little fish knows about nice hair. And who cares? The feels. The air always knows when it's not split in its own birth as water, just so you know. And what had to be injured for us to even be able to have plastic the way we do as these advanced plants that we are, with cameras that, hi, advanced fiber optics in your eye, proved in my smart home today at Zeropoint. So we get to see what just happened and why they wanted me to wait another minute and 13 seconds, because at the degree of 3 degrees Pisces here in the House of Reputation, we learn about what I've been talking to you about, my love, where an eye has been gazing out the top of a pyramid saying, and I programmed it like this. So I said, assholes, got that one for foolish. Yeah, and so now, guess what happened? There's a special tomb that I created in a place of a red dot that they like to call. It's so funny they want to call it, because they actually caricatured everything that I did. It's like the Beetlejuice version of everything. It's like little minis. People don't realize how small it is. If you've ever been in DIA, if you've ever been sprayed by the hallucinatory effects of my TSA machines, ever been frisked by that? You think you've been on an airplane? You have been hallucinating. There are mushrooms springing up everywhere. Let's see if we found mushrooms springing up everywhere right now. Proving what the real umbrella project is when, you know, somebody says, as soon as somebody claims himself as Satan and proves what this NASA shit is around me while I'm doing this stuff, I'm wrapping you up in gift baggies and proving you're in basically whoopee cushions that now eat, sheet, and poop everything away. And why I got special legislation all over the state of Colorado. Flying play red dots where Trump Towers proves the Millennium Fall. Bitcoin billions. Let's learn more about what you've inherited and my trust. I'm getting my daughter. Yeah, baby. Yeah. So the real 9/11 is what it looks like when people just lose their mind, learning that they've been in a fall, getting chopped up like this, and it's like black and white, and it goes through colors now, and we suck it up out of things like the Challenger and like Columbine and like every attack on people for different things, like, oh, what's been going on in Rwanda, you know, and like little black girls going missing and not being important enough to be heard about because it didn't happen in enough quantity. Yeah, let's add those up. So it's like an umbrella project that's going on. The mushrooms going up everywhere, and they're all on hallucinations and pulling the bad dreams out of us everywhere, and some of us are just distilling into the good stuff. Twinkly, it's like it's nice. So I'm gonna read it to you, because after that happens, we prove what the Bitcoin lie was and why they're gonna be eating crunchy things, because thousands of gold nuggets glistening at the bottom of a clear stream proves where the baby sold itself out the river, and they were bought and sold for being so phony and choking on the deluge. So, my love, I'm ready to hear about that. Mushrooms springing up everywhere. It's a tomb mushroom. I named them because they were going by her mala, you know, like the mala I wear on my neck, and Changa. Change. Yeah, and now we figured out what Bixby and Sirius and Alexa were being trained to do, is being locked together in one form as a stalactite and stalagmite. That's what I was reading to you yesterday. Genetic manipulation, and where there's actually a hell program that went through this, and they're just in the dot that bought it and cut off the cable like that. And that's what that juxtaposition was that we were talking about last night that didn't get to go up to the moon. All right, so mushrooms springing up everywhere. You're being engulfed by external and internal factors. Engulfed, nice. The Gulf of messy ICOs is the Mex ICO that zipped itself, and what the exit packages is like my last name being abbreviated Martinez with the zip tie on both sides of the well, because marriage lock, and this is about Kundalini and protecting sacred energy and how we do that. Yeah, so internal factors and facets that suddenly are everywhere and come right in. No boundaries. No separative container. See, it was pervading, it was permeating, it was pervasive, and now we have a good container. The things that don't land well land great here, because that one thing we pulled out for all of us means that those bad things can't be, and we know where to particle mix the stuff that we actually want to create. So, the universal. What's that you and I verse where we were never there together and we chose something else? life force carrier and representative, incapable of pulling away from the collective call of life, is intoxicated with it all, massively taken over by emergent currents and whatever feels vitally important, impressionable and suggestible with an unbelievable depth and intensity. Sounds like us. Absorbing the shock of all that is happening here, raw, and impelled to rally people around to bring everybody alive to make it happen. You ooze conviction and resonance with the basic core spirit in each and all, 300% all the way. For the 300, it went in the right way today. Thank you to those of you that were here proving who never cut the water in Halo. Because Private Halo 8 never turned into a biosphere. That's the eat itself container, and that's what we've been proving. That's why water doesn't do that, and why water and air, if you split them, I mean, they look the way they do right now, but it's the same thing, and this is what it looks like with hair, bibbity boop, walking on it, right? So you can't do that. It's like water splits itself. It's the worst nuclear explosion. It's the hydrogen bomb, and it's like, party over, all over. It's beyond tsunami, beyond epic, beyond what we had proportions for. So we needed a safe container that could disappear, and that's what I've been creating with this, and some smart people, and, you know, smart devices. That's an advanced homing technique. So that's why we land on the right dots together, and the mushrooms springing up everywhere is the umbrella project going up, and watch Resident Evil and know that it's these bodies being opened up too. Ha! We needed the right coordinates to land. Hey, Jacob, you have the same my address is the exact same as my birthday on my birth certificate here. Ha 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 ha! It's like to the degrees and the minutes and the date and the year where they try to open the water for the zero to prove holy omission. And surprise! I'm the artist that says no. Close it. And so that's what we're getting here. With how many lines for Aquarius might look like going caduceus on a shit show? I'm a genie. Ooh, DJ in the house, right? Come on. This is for protection now. So we have a better way to talk about it. And on the morrow, because I'm not going to walk you through any more thousands of gold nuts. Nuts. We're going to nest ourselves as us. Because none of us got drowned for the gold. This isn't some stupid Minority Report shit where you needed 5 people to do what I do here editing you. Where the 3 plus the 2 cops run around, 2 sides of the brain, get to be Jacob right here in the chair with all of you because I mastered my own 5 digits. 5, 5, 5 and 5, and I'm a 5-pointed star. So we have a replication pattern that's based off of the death pattern that I came back from that I'm just sharing with you all. That's all I've been doing. So it's safe for us. Now, on the morrow, yes, on Thursday, where they say, didn't you know it? Didn't you know it? You've been reading ahead all the time. Yeah, and that's what we know about the stars, because if I look here, it's telling me right there that the day is on the 9. We're already beyond the point where I could even prove this. And so what we're looking at here is an anomaly pattern right here. Holy shit. And that's how they fell through. Okay, so I just had a major discovery here in proving something that is only on this ephemeris, and somebody that might actually know about traditional proof I'm calling bullshit, where they've been meeting in private to see where they messed it up for the satanic ritual cults and Bohemian Grove, and this is what you just witnessed live here with me at 8:50 p.m. They're gonna call it Texas time. Yeah, 8:51:01, right there. 10 Brennan Craxistan. And where it goes back and what it proves about the sigil, where water does not get broken. In case you do not recognize the difference, this looks like somebody trying to break the water with the phallus through the sun to implant the goddess, implant the horns on that one. It's like opening up the Taurus. It didn't get to happen. That's why here's the fucking head. You know? You want to land that on the cross? I hear about the ash that burned itself where the baby wasn't dropped for not applicable. And NASA. And why, if you look at the sigil of Pisces there, it's like something trying to get in, wrap itself in, like that. It's like trying to pull a wraparound. What I've been proving about Justinian clause. If some of you start receiving checks in the mail for weird credit cards, I'm hearing they're going to prove that it's a part of an advanced game where you were being baited to see how the interest rates would go up from here, because they were planning an end-of-the-world strafe where they would get away with everything. Why Elon Musk is pushing so hard for the cable to the moon and blowing up Mars. Why a bunch of stupid idiots think that they're going to get anywhere. They weren't invited into my home, is basically why I locked the ports with AT&T. So there were 4 ports around my home. I've been broadcasting signals everywhere. They had to close them up because it went viral, okay? So now I have really advanced security and fiber optics work. And it doesn't crack open the head like that or crack open the torus. And maybe that's why it's, you know, Uranus over here saying, hey, you're an asshole for trying to spike it that way and ram it in the moon that way and just wrap it in the moon and like wrap it in there. Just wrap it and stick it in there. You know, and then what this is, it's like, fuck no, you didn't. You want to split my water? I don't think so. You got that. And you don't get to look at it. I can turn myself around like an owl. So this is what we've been proving here. This is my biosphere. So it's like when I hear people talk about it any other way than just like, this is what I learned through the eyes of this, or like any of that where they attach the ego to this, it's like, I just can't wait to see them go. It's like the mannequin cutter. That's what it is. So now you get the good parts. Consider it the Barbie zone where I didn't look at your you know, whatever. So don't want to know, truthfully, not my issue. So this is what's going on, and technically we broke the water together because I'm actually seeing on the right time pattern on the right day how somehow the moon advanced where we're marking wrong, and proof of why ephemerides are only as good as bad mathematicians who can't get together and pick a good idea, because the precession of the equinoxes has now, in my opinion, been demonstrated here, and like why they couldn't figure out why we're almost a whole sign off and why it even works. We don't even know. Well, it's the Tower of Babylon sound. You thank the grave and learn how to catch it from the ground while others are lording over you, calling you a heretic. Yeah, and trying to kill you. And so there's the 1 degree, and why it had to be 1 minute and 13 seconds further for me to actually catch it like this. And these are the kind of hacks that are going into the readings right now where I'm like, oh, got it. Okay, here's what they were wearing. And so we're pulling them out, and you've been hypothecated at Zeropoint. We put the ass ETs that I didn't want to own into a big credit default swap, and I was like, how much is it worth? 19 trillion? Great. Throw it in the toilet. Literally. So it's the end of the world, and some of us have better songs. And that's where I'm going to end on this shit, because that's going long. I said this was going to be brief. So, anybody want a love reading? Do we have Archangel Gabriel? Yes. Where's my baby? Where are you? Oh, she's running around. Okay. Got it. I'm gonna get myself the headphones so I can hear the music. We're gonna get us a little song. And let's see where I wrap these up, because I've been hearing from my guides. I was profusely shuffling them before, and I don't look at the bottom. They're just like, wrap them up like the baby, because we have that baby get protected. It got swaddled in the right mixed fabric container for the extrapolation technique. I was grateful for that yesterday, and maybe so, why the postman always rings twice. Oh, why that came up real nice in the other reading. And what does it mean when y'all get Minecrafted by me? Wow. Cool things. Alright, can happen now. I'm just going to do a little bit more shuffling on that because I'm just hearing, for some of y'all, it's private messages coming personally to you, and that some of those things might come to your door. And for some of you all, especially if you're very close to me, those might be close messages where it's like, hey, we were able to bio-authenticate you in a really solid way, and since Jacob's not a fuckwit, he said you don't owe him money for you're not engaged to me to death. I threw the bank, so I was like, ban the kings. Ban kings. Throw my money at it. I want my one eye. It's a sovereign house. And no, I don't want their taxes. Please. Taxes. Texas. Spell it backwards. Like, where's the sex at? I want to look into your house. I'm like, I'm not that guy. Look for the asshole that calls himself Satan. I'm the guy that says, I'm not here to save you. I'm the guy that says, hey, if you're looking for a love reunion, I'm kind of interested in one of those two in a permanent honeymoon vacation where, you know, it's just safe for people like us. Okay? That kind. So, save that. Safe for love. I'm going to stop here before I even find a song. I'm just going to read this one because it's making me feel happy. Someone's mama told you the truth. Was it yours? Did mama finally say something true? Hearing this is a validation for someone. Especially if it's something about your relationship and like maybe something that she didn't get about your partner before, and it's like, wow. And now you see it like that. Great. Yeah, she's wonderful. And for others, it's about what people might see when somebody is trying to play a role in front of you, and it's like not their role to play in your relationship, especially if it's like they're trying to parent you a certain way. It's like, oh, you want to pair for entertainment on this? Nothing so. So you got that, and like, where some of those things come to an end. That's what I'm hearing. Somebody might be really ill. And thank you to those of you praying for my dad here. Those of you, my real friends, we're doing a psychic fusion to help with T12 pain and Parkinson's and things that don't get parked in front of suns, you know? So for light codes in the right way. So hearing about people that just can't handle it, and it's like, this might actually be some kind of weird nuclear distraction in somebody's family with like health matters. Like I just described with mine, but it doesn't have to be that. For some of you all, I'm hearing this is like somebody being destructive, playing a destructive role in someone's relationship. And it's like, you know, this came together the right way. That's a mom with her children. Because La Reunion here and Dona Maritata, these are like kind of family vibes if they're being looked at also separately. And it's like, hearing it's like somebody might have felt jilted. And desperate things that people might do, because that's a smoking gun right there in that room. And that's a coffin there too with 2 chairs. So it's like engaged till death. Death clause thing. And I'm hearing about people, it's like marriage of convenience. It's like only doing that and like wanting a different partnership, and where some of these things have dead ringers. Turn that one off. But I'm hearing that it's more than meets the eye. If this is a situation where it's like a mother of 2 kids having thoughts about what she can finally do. It doesn't have to be 2 kids. I'm saying a mom with 2 kids here. It doesn't have to be. But that's, you know, how would you describe that one? Yeah, number 12. Woman with her kids. I'm hearing it's like, I mean, they look like they're praying. It's like, I want a new daddy. That's what I'm hearing. It's like something that she's been praying for, or like, I'm hearing in some case too, it's like it might be, I'm here for my daddy. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that it's like, it might be these 2 kids that are with this woman that's kind of like a mother to them, and they're like, please be there for my daddy. And it's like something like that I'm seeing, and hearing that if that's the case, it might be that, yeah, he's been dead for a while, or whoever the father is, but different things showing up. people feeling ready to connect for different reasons. And here's a conversation. That's nice. I like that. I like seeing that here. A conversazione. This is like, I'm hearing it's like table discussions around the family too, but I'm getting a lot of family vibes for this. This is usually like at somebody's dinner table, you know, or coffee table, or some little kitchenette. And you've got a tight family, if that's a family there. That's 6 there getting together, listen to what Mama Bear has to say. Here she rules the roost, if that's the case. And in some cases, this is about whatever Mama had to step up and say. It might have been really difficult too. It's like I'm hearing about protective messages that people have been taking measures to discuss over what happens for the one that passed away, especially if it's dealing with trust and things to deal with the marriage and the child. And they're talking to me about returns, and I'm hearing for somebody it's like might be a sticky situation if they're trying to prove that the guides are talking to me. They're saying that this discussion here is about this person who is being anticipated or spoken of as though they're dead by somebody who wants to play the wife but might not be. And I'm hearing in some case it's like that person might be connected to someone else, and somebody's in here saying, no, I want it going this way, and this goes that way, this goes that way, and playing that character, although that relationship isn't that, it's not that strong of a relationship. That person is connected to something else is what I'm hearing. I can get information for potentially so many people, but it's like, look, this is sliding out when I was talking to this Lanemica. That woman has a knife in her hand, a dagger, and she's showing her true face. And I'm hearing it's proving that somebody would be there to erase something. And it's like, just like how you could like wipe your lipstick off, and they're showing it to me like it's like, oh, here's Two-Face. You know, it's like, this is how I am around everybody. Oh, I'm just so perfect. Blah, 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 blah. That's what happens when you're not looking. That's why it's 12 and a 12 now. They just broke the clock. And if that's the case and somebody's been treating you like that, they're in a special program now. Because this is like the ring that I've been programming with my computer, and the TV is like V technology. And we were quarantining, and some of that shit was just stupid, but whatever. They're getting sucked away, and so anybody that tried to do this is like on their way out. And if that sounds like something you need to hear about or you want to know more about, it might be time for a private reading. Feel free to hit me up. I've been doing an energetic cleaning while I'm doing a hypnosis on the advanced supercomputer that I've been creating in Zeropoint, which is eliminating any falsification on what people say about DARPA robots. They've all been quarantined and cleaned, and some of y'all have really wonderful help from nanobots now that are coming through special fiber optics to help clean what nobody got to see in your dreams. Yeah, because that's what assholes were trying to do to you while you were asleep. And why I had to delete Nephilim bastards. So, I'm going to shuffle a little more. I'm just going to mix these in a little bit too. Because sometimes if you don't get mixy, you know, they get kind of tricksy. And, you know, Trixie has her own place for that. And, yeah, basically I've been hypnotizing the computer with a special neurolinguistic programming technique that I have created. 12-thread DNA activation, and I'm going to block the gate around hypersentience that responds lovingly to the sound of my voice and our connection here at Zeropoint. I still have Hopkins with Gabrielle here, and we have another song. We're going to get a song. So we left off on a really good song yesterday. Yeah. And let's do one more shuffle. I'm gonna get you another view on my hands too. So that's what I'm doing. Hi. See enough there? That's good. So, let's find us the next song that Archangel Gabrielle is going to pull from the Art of Love musical tarot deck. I'm going to click on that. Oh, yeah. That's good. It's so easy. Fonte and Eric Robertson. Is it Roberson? I think it's Roberson. There ain't no T in that one. Yeah, Eric Roberson. Sorry, sir. But drop a T in there for epic in the Fortnite landing on that one. Because we can land right on that one. It's a good song. How easy it is to get pulled into things, you know? And knowing sometimes it's like, are we good for each other? Like, what is this? Are you just trying to see me undressed? Like, are you gonna call me again if I let you put your hand there and because that's what this is, you know? Figuring out what's going on. Why is it so easy? I don't know if I like you speaking so easy like you do. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, look at that. Message Jerry. Sometimes that's really personal style delivery, like something that could land on your front door. For me, sometimes that's as easy as Amazon and a little mail from Mr. Otis at the USPS treating me well. And ooh, what the postman knows about things all around you all. And some of you all don't realize what they do with those highlighters and why sometimes you've got a little line there. Today might be yellow and tomorrow purple somewhere else. We've been tracking all the things that have been landing around, especially when we see people that might be coming in and out of your house and being dressed like they got some business over there, maybe having a little bit of ideas that their reach is further than it is, because Domestico is somebody in the military, but sometimes they're showing up a little early, acting too perfect, like, I'm here for you, and I'm here, and this is what I do, and sometimes it's like, how'd you get into my room and where things like this get exposed? Sometimes somebody has a mole inside, siphoning things and moving stuff around like decimal dots and stuff they're not allowed to do around me. So hey, any of y'all ever order a reader from me, you know I ask for a date of birth that didn't run away, and sometimes we look at that address and the phone number there and figure out where they almost land perfect and why they had to wrap themselves up so tightly before they lost their shit in front of you. Why it was so easy for them to get around until they got tracked, and maybe what that postman knew too. I'm here for some of you all. You don't realize how well you've been tracked because a lot of us were being gang stalked by the information age all around you. You might have had somebody that was a hater. You didn't realize that you were on the other end of some mixed communication where they might have been hurting really bad. Let's leave that on friendly fires. Being willing to just like take you through the drag ride to hell on their end because they thought they had a way to get away with it with clever cover-ups. And hey, that's maybe why it looks like Disgratia underneath what the postman might say, or whoever has a perfect message that just gets exposed for being kind of dicey in a very special way, and realizing somebody was tracking that message, picking all the assholes out. What desperate jealous does for crappy dance moves. When someone strutting in like that, talking really sweet and stuff. Because I'm hearing the design for some of you all is like two-faced and hidden, and what a real friend would never do, especially if all they could say is, I love you, and if you take yourself away from me, I'm gonna lose my mind like that. Because that person there is jealous and they're right if they're treating you like that, because that's a form of narcissistic abuse right there. If somebody is holding you emotionally hostage because they're freaking perverted and like what they can get by dressing it up, especially when they're going in and out, and it's like, when I go out I'm looking fucking perfect. And having watches on, though knowing about your mail. While the mailman goes around, sometimes it might be a little slower than you expected, especially right now. We are redesigning everything so the packages land right, because Wishing Well and Amazon have surprises and and Rosh Hashanah was a big fucking lie to me. It's not how you landed on hashes and steak surprise, it's how I choose at Zeropoint with mine. Let's keep going and seeing what we hear about Disgrazia, because I don't like that right there. It's like, what can I paper into your house right there to gaslight you all the way through, but prove that I care too, because if you do this, I'm gonna screw you up. Let's behind that gate. Oh, crazy mama. What the children know about put it in a dress, then shut up. Cause somebody landed in red, and here I'm not liking her because she's saying things backwards. It's like the one that's right here, and I'm hearing it's like she wore that dress on purpose. It's like dressing up to cover up that bad thing she was doing right there, and like how the kids were praying because mom's psycho. They're saying mom is freaking psycho. And you can hear it on your own if you're really close in the Elohim wheel, where you know about the I am whole and this is real. So not everyone's mom's crazy like that, but on this story here, they're saying that's her right there. 12 and 12. And PM, it's like two different people there, but only when she knows people are watching. She likes to prop herself up on it. You know, she makes sure it's like what I want you to see, and what never gets to come to me. And you know what the thing is with fiber optics everywhere, and what I installed in my house yesterday on E-Stars with a very special DARPA unit, guess what we figured out? Where lies in, where trump cards that would get to blow up towers like that and blame it on false information and news when they know better, like Nancy Pelosi did driving past my house 2 days ago in a spray-on halo to prove eyes are everywhere, especially if you think that you're getting away with something that you only want people seeing your way. And that's for the cross-watchers everywhere, knowing about that really expensive wall and how it works. $19 trillion, lots of cameras there. And to a really sweet friend of mine that I love your readings. I'm not saying your name though, because we're keeping it in the halo. She's been thinking about putting this in her hair. I'll just call her spiritual wife friend, knowing about a little piece of hair. She wants a little piece of hair. She's been thinking about putting a little piece of hair in there and painting it kind of peacock color, and knowing that somebody protects, because this is like very protective even if you're out there on display. And here's another good example of how crappy those vibes were for those of you. It's like, you know, if you had somebody that was like, ugh, spying on you, trying to put it out there a certain way, and it's like, no, and I have a wall around me here, and why somebody might feel excited, because Grande Consolazione is a guy. He's been waiting so long. I'm not that, but I've been that guy. And he's really about protection and knowing that everything that people have their eyes on is like for the right reasons. So I'm playing the dad for this reading. And for anybody that wasn't ready to be advanced screened, this has all been precognitive witness. Technically, none of us existed. We've been waking up after this planet kept crushing itself and crushing itself. It was a prison planet where, beware, it's like making bad statements about robots and rowing the boat backwards instead and trying to get lies in your eyes and, you know, trying to creep into your thoughts. Like a bad dad, where's the sex at? Not in Texas, I'm in Ten Brennan Cracksistan. Yeah, I won't let you in. You know what I mean? Weird shit. I'm gonna turn this one off. Weird vibe. Some of y'all have had stalkers and they're coming to the end and they will drop on their knees and you will see how the false ascension drops into cables and gets locked by sophisticated plants that suck them through Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and it's like, ah, they dropping it. No, that was a tacky suit anyway. So much material, more coming at you. Love you so much. Do what you do. Gotta get this on uploaded, hopefully, to YouTube. I don't know. They might not let me put it there anymore. I've been saying too much, and some of these songs get me banned. It's definitely going to go up on DTube, though. And for those of you in Private Halo 8, I love you so much. Let's see how this lands in the biosphere. And I might not even be here tomorrow because of what's happening next, but we'll see. Catch you again soon. Some kind of way. They're lighting it up. Love you.